battle starts.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the North American quarterfinals here in King of the Sea 14 as we bring you Game 1 of 07 and WVO50. Here in the green, spawning on the north side of Northern Waters, is VW bringing Montana, Kremlin, Des Moines, Napoli, Moskva, and Nevsky. All the 12-kilometer radar you can pack into a game, apparently, just about anyway. Fronted by Gearing, Daring, and that's top geared in a radar Yu Yang. What do you got on the south end of the map there, Zath?
That's correct. Opposing them, Team 07 is choosing to bring double St. Vincent, Nevsky.
Whoa.
Yeah, Nevsky, Des Moines, Napoli, Gearing, Ragnar, Kleber, and a second Kleber. Important to note, both Gearings are unique upgrade in this match. Raptor, I have a question for you as the teams get set up.
What?
So, people in chat have been asking, why so much St. Vincent? What's with the St. Vincent.exe patchers or whatnot that teams are suddenly catching on to?
It's a fair question, Zath, and I'm honest. If I'm honest, I'm not sure that I have a great answer for you. For starters, I haven't played the ship a whole lot. Okay?
Got it.
So you're asking someone who doesn't have a tremendous amount of experience having played the ship. I think I'm only up to tier 7 in that line. If I had a guess, I would believe it's because A, it's got battle cruiser dispersion, doesn't it? Doesn't it get pretty good accuracy? So the shells go where you aim them, which is not something you can say for every tier 10 battleship, but for this one, you probably can. It has the speed boost, which gives it some better repositional opportunities. And those torpedoes allow it to potentially make some pushes that you can't necessarily always make with other battleships. I mean, think about the other tier 10 battleships that you would think that have torpedoes that you would expect to see, like a Schlieffen, for example. As good as a Schlieffen is, it's a little squishy, isn't it, Zath?
Yes. Now you're missing that one other part is that super heal, right? That allows it to just build itself back up.
Is it? So it is. It does get the Conqueror or the British crazy super heal, does it?
Yeah, I can't remember if it's the exact same super heal or if it's like close to it. But either way, it does heal up quite a bit. I saw a bunch of matches on EU today where these St. Vincents took a whacking and then they were like, whatever, and then hit the fancy button and reprinted a ship. And
I can only go ahead.
And that single torpedo packs a punch. It's a 30,000 damage, and we saw earlier with EU a Petropavlovsk take one to the face and dead.
Yep.
At close range.
So I can only assume then, right? We have seen in the past, Kings of the Sea of the past, we have seen Conqueror be an impactful ship. I can only assume then that teams are approaching St. Vincent as a Conqueror plus, right? You still get that crazy British high explosive when you need it, and you get the crazy heal, but on top of that, you get the speed boost and the torpedoes and so on. That's all I can. Right. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
And a lot of the businesses. I mean, the business is basically in the front.
Yes.
As well. It doesn't have really good rear firing arc. Actually, has 0 rear firing arc really, other than the secondaries. So. We saw an instance with that with the EU too, where somebody tried to get on a St. Vincent's rear. It just took a while to make it happen.
Tuna Can's Ragnar at B, just executing almost a textbook assassination here of this VW Daring, pushing him off the cap, literally sitting in the open, firing his guns. Literally, no one's spotting him.
Yeah.
No one's spotting him from VW Zath, and there he goes.
Just like that, just although Tuba goes down.
Yep. So. Our first blood here going to 07. They pick up B. They're converting A. At the moment, nobody going near C. Everybody's looking at C like, oh, I ain't going in there. You can't make me.
Yeah, I love it how both have 3 assets just sitting there. Basically, just kind of, 406mm no power did take a decent chunk earlier in the Nevsky, but, we just basically have 2 Death Snails that are just kind of sitting there.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And 406 had his radar up. In fact, his radar is about to expire, but he's not detecting anything with it. He can see Oxymoron, but that's because Oxy's been firing.
Right. Now, look at the one line. WVO50 looks like they might be trying to put together a push down that one line.
Yep. Looks like they're maybe trying. We've seen teams try this before in this right, Zath. They use a smoke or a double cruiser push or something, and you can see 07 making almost the exact same play from the south here. BFK's Napoli.
Yeah, coming under crossfire from Kremlin.
Yep. Both teams fully aware of the strength of this position at the A cap. Let's see who can claim it.
Yeah, bad although to Goo just took a big hit in the Des Moines.
Yep, I'm presuming again that was the St. Vincent shells.
From Peyton the Rockhider, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep. So now we've got all of these ships clustered around this A cap island, spotting each other, despite the physical barrier in between. Everybody proxy spotting everybody else.
At this point, you disembark your sailors, climb the mountain, get to the other side, and start shooting.
Exactly right. It's time for boarding action, Zath. We're gonna offload people. We're gonna hike around the island, and we're gonna board them with axes and pikes and take over the ship.
That's right. Now, both Napolis look reversing.
Notice this, right?
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. It's like, I can't believe they're actually gonna go. He is. It's gonna happen. They're gonna go for this play.
Yeah, BFK is
gonna move forward. BFK is going to go forward and try, and for just the yeah, he gets a few shells around, but not much out of them.
Just overpenned the butt with a couple, and that was it. I mean, all that buildup.
Yep.
It's just like
whole lot of drama at A, but the real action in my mind happening over at C as SAT scores gearing, moves in, bags that cap, and 7 minutes in, Zath, 07 owns the entire board.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's thanks to that daring going down early. There's really no easy way to cap contest with 2 destroyers, all 3 caps.
Nope. Top geared's Yang also in trouble. Look at this.
The enemy is about to win.
Yep, and you can see that the gearing for VWO50 is also now rotating. It looks like they're picking B as the place to possibly contest and push.
They're going to have to do something because they're down a destroyer. Top geared's Yang is more or less out of the fight. 5 ships gearing is the last really healthy destroyer they've got over here. He's going to push into B, and we'll probably be able to pick that up before 07 can do anything about it. But man, they got to do something. They're over 400 points upside down.
Meanwhile, we have 1 ship each in that island decided to leave, and now they're turning back into each other. I mean, it's kind of...
This is such a weird little dance to see, Zath. I think VW is going to push their Napoli around this island and see if they can assassinate BFK.
It's like Deep Space Nine, Siege of AR-558 or whatever. We held.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's right. That's right.
Oof.
Yeah. Looks like he's going for it.
We will hold this island for the Dominion.
As predicted, 5 ships gearing, about 3/4 of the way done with the B cap. They're bringing back Tuna Can's Ragnar to see if they can radar him, push him off. They do pick him up with the radar, but are those shells going to come in time? Yeah, I guess they are. They are going to be able to defend the cap, and they do.
That is it.
Excellent reactionary play from 07 here.
Yeah.
Here comes the Napoli crawling up BFK's stern.
Yeah, this will be interesting.
Torpedo's going to land.
Maybe 1.
Yeah, 1, maybe 1.
No, 0.
No, look at that. It scrapes the paint off BFK's ship.
Oh, man. And the other one does too.
And in return. What a... Unbelievable.
That
Des Moines AP coming in on Good's broadside now.
It's like that Warships video was right. Torpedoes can bounce off ships. Now, here's the question, though. Which Napoli's going to get the shot off first?
BFK's, I think, is going to lose this duel.
No, BFK's
shot
comes up next.
He needs to fire right
there it
now.
is. There it is.
Oh,
Bam.
Time it just right. And he does pick it up as 07 up over 900 points. Now, we're not even to the 10-minute mark. That's how much pressure giving up all of those early caps put on VW. Yep. They do claim back, do grab a kill back, though, as they shove the Kremlin into A.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do something with the Kremlin. I'm going to take this cap.
Look at 5 ships gearing, Zath.
43.
43 hit points.
Yep, well, does not have adrenaline rush.
This game has been just almost a textbook, 07 class on how to control and assassinate the opposing destroyers.
What's interesting is that they just came on so strong, like
Very
like,
strong.
You know, they're like, we're here to win, boys. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's it.
Oh yeah.
We're not playing.
Yeah. There are some familiar names on this 07 team if you've been watching them for many years as we have, and some new names as well. That's typical, right? There's usually a little turnover between each event.
Well, and some of them are names that we're used to. They're just renamed, or people we're used to.
Fair. Umdiatas Kleber down, getting very low, 2,300 and falling, having to run south, trying to preserve his ship. We're seconds
30
from an
seconds.
07 win. All they have to
30
do is not lose another ship. Which, for poor Grass-Fed's Des Moines, I'm afraid, is not going to work out. Although Soul Gain's guns weren't looking.
No, but
Grass-Fed's going for the ram. Is it going to get there?
Oh,
He's not.
Denied.
He's not. So we trade ships there, and once again, we're still only seconds from an 07 win here in Game 1.
What a battle. What an interesting start to the series. How do you come back at this?
I mean, 07 just almost in control of this game from the opening moments as they grab a quick kill towards the end to pick up Game 1. Wow, convincing, Zath. Looking like the champions of old.
Impressive. I mean, yeah, exactly what you would expect to see out of 07 coming right out of the gate. WVO50s gonna probably have to take some time, think things through a bit, try to do some quick analysis, and come back with a response. Looking forward to seeing it.
Absolutely. Speaking of analysis, let's see what the boys in the studio have to say. Take it away, Bogsy and Gaishu.
I see what you did there. It's very interesting.
Action stations.
Action stations, ladies and gentlemen, as WVO50 comes back into Game 2 against 07. They're down 1. It's up to them to win this and force a Game 3. If not, 07 will advance. And it looks like WVO50 has gotten a little bit of a... I think they got the memo as they bring out their own St. Vincent for Battleship, followed by an Ohio. And then for cruisers, we've got Nevsky, Marseille, Petropavlovsk for destroyers, Double Kleber, Ragnar, and a Gearing, who's running the unique upgrade. Raptor, what do we have for 07?
In red on the south spawn, 07 bringing a small change in their battleship lineup. Instead of double St. Vincent, we're seeing Conqueror and St. Vincent. Interesting. Moskva, Nevsky, and Petro, and Stalingrad. So literally all the 12-kilometer radar you can pack onto one team. All right here, fronted by Gearing, Kleber, and yet another radar that's Tunicans, Ragnar, and he had an amazing Game 1.
Yeah.
Love to see how he can continue that trend here into Game 2.
Now, I don't know if you noticed or not, but 07 was doing a bit of target practice just now as you were talking about their lineup, as they were, I think it was Ace Baby's St. Vincent was just firing off those single-fire torpedoes and you know, butt-slapping his teammates.
Yeah, I saw some of that going on. I was like, what is happening over here? All right, well, a little bit of early deployment. We're seeing Double Kleber rushing A from the north.
Yep.
That's top geared, and one of the other, I'm not going to pretend that I can keep all these guys straight with their goofball names on PWO. But they're headed towards A. In a moment, they'll be staring across the cap at Mad Dog's Kleber. Let's see. I'm not sure what the detection radius is. Probably a little low, probably 7.5 or so for Kleber, 7 or 8.
Sounds
like that.
about right.
So Mad Dog may be just edging towards detection. Not quite there yet, though. Looks as if 07, by their deployment, there we go, catching a brief glimpse. Looks like 07 is maybe going to kind of not play the A flank very heavy at all.
Yeah. By the way, it looks like none of the Klebers are unique upgrade. No.
I'm not surprised. The one time that we've seen, well, I won't say the one time, but the handful of times that we've seen unique upgrade Kleber work in this tournament is generally when you run it in an all French wolf pack, right? And you use that stealthier Kleber as like your tripwire. You run him out in front.
Yes.
And then his buddies with the faster gun reload are right behind him. Unlike last game, we're 3 minutes in and nobody owns a cap just yet.
I was just fixing to say that. Although looks like WVO50 is getting ready to back into a cap, into A cap. Meanwhile, 07 Tunican is getting ready to back into B, and nobody wants anything to do with C.
Yep, I think that certainly VW has brought enough ships and firepower to A that they ought to be able to pick this up and hold it.
You know what ship we're not seeing here that we saw last week, Raptor?
Which one?
Guten Liu.
We're not seeing a Howden Liu. We have seen some teams, especially from the south spawn, get really good work out of a Howden Liu. But for the moment, neither team, well, obviously I say for the moment, neither team opting for that here, obviously.
Contacted A.
I see that. A little bit of radar action. That's Grassfred's Moskva radar picking up the Kleber that is trying to cap. Tunican's about to get lit at B by the opposing Ragnar's radar. Tunican's going to reverse. I still think they're going to reset him, and they do.
Yep. Peyton already down quite a bit. He's, I'm guessing he's on fire right now. He's ticking down a bit, but he doesn't care. He's got that button.
Peyton's a conqueror. Since when does a conqueror care about a silly thing like fire?
Right.
Tunican coming off worse for the wear at that trade at B for sure. Grass-fed Fred also coming off pretty badly over here, falling under a tremendous amount of high explosive shells. Look at all these shells.
I mean, that's why you put all those assets in that corner, right? You want to get that
chip. That's why you put them over there. Both of the Klebers had their reload boosters ticking, plus the Marseille, plus the St. Vincent HE. And still they don't own A just yet.
Just yet. Although a Petropavlovsk is trying to cap.
Well, the Petro, I think, is going to get reset right here.
Oh, yeah.
Kleber is going to duck back in. But the Petro's headed to Thunder Zone, Zath. And I actually think it's a really bold play that I like.
Oh, it makes sense because that allows him to proxy spot grass-fed, or even use Hydro to keep him spotted. They'll also be able to spot BFK as a result.
Indeed. Tunican is actually going to finally pick up B. It's going to take over 6 minutes. Well, right at 6 minutes before either team picks up a cap. But in a moment, 07's going to grab B, and then VW is going to grab A in response.
There
we go. 2 points apart, each team ticking up a cap here. And so now, if you're 07, I feel like you've got to get on to C, start ticking up some points over here. SAT score seems to agree.
Yep.
5 ships gearing takes a torpedo, Zath. That's a big hit.
Those gearing torpedoes are very difficult to spot, and you have very low reaction time to them. And they have pretty good range, too.
5 ship and SAT counter spotting each other there across the cap.
Yeah, but
they're going to reset. Yep.
If I'm 5 ship, I'm getting out of there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's check. I don't think SAT is running unique upgrade gearing, so he is a 5-6 detection.
Yes. Both of them are.
And, yep, so is 5 ship. Yep, I see it now. 07 looking like they're in a pole position there to pick up the C cap.
Looks like 406 took a torpedo. I think he took 1 torpedo. Mad
Dog's gonna go. Mad Dog's going down. Yep, Mad Dog's going down.
You and I have done this so many times together.
But I think they're going to pick up Top Geared in exchange. I think it's going to be a Kleber trade here because Top Geared is continuing to fire. More shells coming in. Oh, not quite able to get there. They still haven't hit him yet, but sooner or later they're going to catch him with something, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Peyton's going to get him right here.
Somebody's going to get him. Nope.
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 Last chance.
Wow. Look at this.
There it is.
Peyton, the British HE finally claims the kill, but I think Grass-fed is going out in exchange, so the ship trade's continuing to go in favor of VW here for the moment.
That's right. And now with that Kleber gone to the south, that allows VW to completely turn this this flank here and just continue chasing Peyton, and that's going to threaten BFK's position in the Petro.
No, it's definitely. I mean, BFK. If I'm BFK, I'm certainly not comfortable in this position. Now, he's got enough island cover here. He can move up some and avoid the worst of the St. Vincent fire, but he cannot avoid the Ohio fire to his north when he does that.
Right.
So if I'm BFK, I'm looking to just trade well here as the Conqueror gets a good hit in there on Soul Gate. We're actually going to see something I've not seen much of, Zath, which is
British on
old school British battleship Conqueror versus new school British battle cruiser back there in the St. Vincent.
Well, St. Vincent's got a butt anchor, so I'm going to go with the St. Vincent.
But you're not biased at all, Zath.
No, of course not.
Of course not. How preposterous. There's the crazy heel coming in. They do get another fire on Soul Gain.
Yeah,
VW on about a 30-point lead, and the gap is narrowing. 07 on a cap lead, but down a ship here. 9 minutes gone in game 2. I won't say a must-win game for VW because they'll still be in the tournament, but certainly if they want to advance to the semifinals, they've got to win this game to stay in the match.
Absolutely. And I predicted that this would go 3 games in the prediction tournament thing, so of course I'm rooting for game 3.
I certainly hope it does.
We always like game 3s, don't we?
Of course. Gotta say, Peyton's Conqueror is definitely acquitting himself well back here. It might be 2v1, but I gotta say, I really like the work he's doing.
He's doing a great job of just preventing the push. Another big hit on Soul Gain there.
Yep. More shells coming in on Soul Gain. In fact, Soul Gain's firing AP back now. Not as big a hit as I'm sure he would have liked, as Peyton is now printing his own ship.
He turned north.
Soul Gain may pay for this maneuver. Oh, he's popped his fancy heel now as well.
Yeah, I'm curious as to the decision to both of them, him and the Marseille. They're like, yeah, we don't want to keep pushing Conquer.
Stalingrad AP coming in and beating up Soul Gain.
And BFK takes out the Marseille.
They bagged the Marseille. That's a lead change. Well, we probably already had a lead change, but it certainly moves 07 out in front now. Over 100 points. Game half over. Ticking up an extra cap. A little bit of info radar here going up from BFK in the middle of the board.
Well, might as well figure out who else he has to deal with. Soul Gain is at 1,300 now.
I think they had not seen the Kleber in a while, Zath, and they wanted to make sure he didn't sneak back into the middle of the board.
And that's smart. Now, Soul Gain just fired, getting himself detected in the process, and he's at 1,300.
Ace's St. Vincent shells are coming in, and they get him.
Yeah. Feels odd.
I think that was why they popped the Petro radar. They wanted to bag that kill. They knew Soul was low, and now 07 has gone from down a ship to up a ship, firmly in the pole position here in game 2. VW's got to make something happen. I think VW's in real trouble. I was gonna say, I think they're in real trouble here, Zath, because honestly, and you see Peyton making this play now, if I'm 07, I'm sending the Conqueror straight to A. What are they going to do about it?
Nothing.
I mean,
well, not nothing. The only thing they could do is Kleber rush, but he's so low. They can't make
British
it
HE. With British HE, do you trust that?
Yeah.
Do you trust the Kleber to survive even the one salvo?
No,
Yikes.
but I mean, what else can you do? I mean, 406 is being pushed all the way back. He's kind of stuck bow in, which you don't want to be stuck like that in a Nevsky. So he's running now for the smoke. Will he get there in time?
I'm not sure. If he does, is Oxymoron's radar available? It is, although it doesn't quite touch the back edge of that smoke.
Meanwhile, looks like Contrail in the Ohio is just charging B. It looks like the decision for VW is go into B and try to make something happen.
The ships they pushed south of A all died, Zath, right?
Yeah.
Remember, they had one point they had 5 ships on the 1-2 line.
Yeah.
And now you can look on the map and see 3 of their corpses. The one down here in I-1, of course, that's Mad Dog, but still, like, they're over 300 points down now with 7 minutes to play. I don't know how they're going to break back into a cap circle.
I don't know either. But that's interesting. You bring up they had 5, so they rotated 2 ships, right? They rotated the Ragnar.
They did.
Ragnar and Kleber. So no,
definitely the Kleber and the Petro. Petro cut into Thunderdome, right?
So in the process of that, they took away really the kind of board position winning firepower, and that allowed 07 to recover. And Contrail's going to go down right here.
Yeah, I think the Petro a combination of Petro AP and Conqueror HE is gonna put him off the board here in just a couple of seconds. There
it is.
Ragnar actually claims him with the fire. 70 seconds now from an 07 sweep of this series, and if I'm VW, I don't know that there's a way to prevent it.
It would require, 07 to win harder, but they don't win harder.
It would require 07 to make a mistake, Zath.
That's what I mean.
Something that we don't see a lot of that out of them. Historically, over the years, you just don't see that a lot.
No, I love John the Ruthless's positioning in that Stalingrad.
Oh, it's been brilliant.
Yeah.
There we go. Time ticking away. 07 is going to win this game. They're going to sweep VW out of the winner's bracket here and reclaim a spot in the North American semifinals for what must be the 10th time in a row, I think. Have they ever not gone to the semifinals, Zath? Can you think of one?
No.
I can't.
I can't either. No, there was that one time that they lost, and then they came back through the losers bracket. That was the first time they did the double elimination.
Yes, they came back through the losers bracket once. You're right. You're right. Well, that's not happening to them at the moment, as they are once again back in the North American semifinals, and with a clean sweep here of VW.
Yep. Why don't we send it back to the studio, Raptor?
Let's do it. See you guys in a bit.